I'm Ted Parker, and I've been kind of around South East London for about 50 of my 70 years. The big thing that was behind the big Lewisham demo was when the police were on a mission to stamp out mugging, as they saw it, and they arrested what became known as the Lewisham 21. They arrested 21 black kids, kind of dorm raids and all this. It provoked a degree of outrage among the black community. There was a march which the NF broke up. Part of the family was based in Clifton Rise in New Cross, and there was a march from there, and they were all in a pub and poured out of the pub and started, beating people up. So we then realised we hadn't been adequately prepared for this, and then the NF called a march of theirs, anti-mugging march, from New Cross down through Deptford and then Brookmill Road back to Lewisham, through Lewisham and on to Catford. So we needed a plan. So we acquired flares and we acquired rotten fruit and runners, because before the days of mobile phones, so people running up and down to see where they were gathering and what the likely routes were, and running back to us. The beginnings of it was an anti-racist demonstration by an organisation called Al-Qaraf, All Lewisham Campaign Against Racism and Fascism. And they marched from Ladywell Fields, or whatever that park's called, and their intention was to go through Lewisham Town Centre, then up Lewisham Way in the direction of New Cross, but expecting to be stopped at some point by a police line, and there they would disperse. So all of a sudden they were all saying yes, yes, and there were like loads of people joining this. So then everything moved off, including our lorry. Kept on using the expression about Cable Street and blocking the route, not about attacking police, which I had no particular appetite for, but blocking the route. And there were people looking out of windows at us, not just black people, white people. There was a mood. Everyone knew this was historic stuff. And so then big cordon of police up Lewisham Way, so there was no choice, you had to stop. And then, but we all had the message then, we were going to get there, come hell or high water. And then we did. So these numbers grew and grew, and it became clear we had enough to do it. And I got positioned on, I think there were public loos at that point in New Cross, up where Clifton Rise comes up and joins, more or less where that club is that the kids go to these days. But the plan then was that after an initial push at the NF as they moved off, down towards Deptford, towards Deptford Broadway, whatever that is, down there. As they moved off down there, we would go back towards the venue, or wherever it is, and then go round the corner and then hell for leather down Lewisham Way to get to Lewisham before then. So off we went to the centre of Lewisham, at which point my memory of things is faulty, because what actually happened to me ultimately was that I ended up concussed in hospital. But what happened was that we were there in such numbers that there was no way the NF could possibly get through, and the head of the NF march come round the corner, look in horror at the situation confronting them, and then the police had already by then decided on plan B, which to divert them through there's a little tunnel under the railway line onto Blackheath and to where there were coaches. So that they'd already put that in place. Then what happened was a police charge, and that's where I got it, because this is the first time in the UK that they've used riot shields, and that's allegedly I'm there on the loudhailer saying, "Defend the clock tower." And I think that's because that was like the centre of Lewisham, and I reckon that it was always a chance that the NF could go round unless we were there. I was defending the clock tower, and the police charged in, and I think I was trampled underfoot. And apparently what then happens is someone finds me wandering about and muttering, they say, "What's happened to the NF?" I say, "Who are the NF?" So I end up at St Thomas's Hospital, woke up vaguely aware that it was a historic day, said to a nurse, what day is it? And she said, Saturday the 13th of August. I said, right, was there some trouble in Lewisham today? She said, God almighty, yeah, there were terrible scenes, you know. And I said, oh, right. So anyway, that was that. But clearly the aftermath of that is that although the NF tried to be aggressive for a little while, actually the bubble had burst. You know, they had been stopped. It was Cable Street. You know, it was a repetition of that. And from then on, who can say cause and effect, but effectively that began their electoral decline.